Hey everybody, thanks for joining us in the Man Cave. Shane couldn't be here tonight. He's not feeling that great. But instead, we have the next best thing, Mr. Colton Goodwin. What are you laughing about?
Nothing.
I'm trying to think of what to say, and I'm looking at my microphone. That helps me. How you doing tonight, Colton?
I'm doing really good.
Good. It is Friday, December 15th. So just a few days ago when you're listening to this, if you're listening to it on Monday when it comes out, we went and saw The Last Jedi last night. I went at 7:15, he went at 7:30. And holy shit, it was so damn good. Don't you freaking agree?
Yes, really good.
So before we get into our, we'll do this first because I found an article about something funny that happened. So we'll read that after we talk about it. So, just a forewarning, people, this is going to be a spoiler-ridden episode. If you don't want spoilers, or you haven't seen it yet, or whatever, don't listen. But at the same time, listen, because, downloads and popularity, we want that shit. First things first, starts off in the middle of a Star War. Like, that was awesome.
Yeah.
Pretty much picks up where it left off, and what Poe is fighting against these. What was it they called them?
Oh, I can't remember, but I know that they rarely get the opportunity to destroy one of them, so he just goes for it and
right. They are like, you back down. He's like, no, fuck you. I'm Poe Dameron. I'm gonna do what I want to do. Like, pretty much.
But he sacrificed all those bombers.
I know, that was crazy. Like, all of them died. And like, when that chick held the necklace, I was like, oh, that's nice. Like her parents gave it to her or whatever. But like, when she's hitting that, when she was trying to hit that like launch button, for all those bombs to drop, and like she fell with it up there, some lady was like, no, like really loud in the theater. I love when that kind of stuff happens in movies, like in The Force Awakens when Kylo Ren and Rey are fighting against each other and Rey's lightsaber goes flying off, in the snow.
Yeah.
Okay, when that happens, some lady goes, great, and like really loud, and that made everybody laugh. But that was really cool. Dropped them all and destroyed the hell of that thing. And then that part where some other shit happens. Like they show Rey talking to Luke, and when he throws that lightsaber over his shoulder, and she's like, "Oh, okay." That was kind of cool that it started off pretty much where it left off. So that was really nice to see. I was glad that it did that.
I thought it was interesting that he just gave up being a Jedi. He just didn't want to do it anymore.
Yeah, I read last night. I read Mark Hamill did not like where Rian Johnson was taking Luke's character. He went with it anyway, obviously. So he wanted to see what his vision was for it, but it seemed very un-Luke-like to not want to be a Jedi anymore, because he was so hardcore on becoming a Jedi that it just like seems like very un-Luke-ish,
Yeah. But then I was never expecting Yoda to show up, but
oh my god. We're jumping ahead a little bit. So when Kylo Ren is in his TIE fighter or whatever, and he like flies the thing into the cruiser and just like destroys half the shit there, and Princess Leia just goes flying. I'm like, no, this is how they're gonna end Carrie Fisher in the Star Wars series, And then she like does some kind of weird like teleporting thing.
I'm not really sure what she does. I think she uses the Force to make herself like fly back to the ship.
She had to have. Like, I think there's a lot more to Leia than what they like directly say.
I'm not sure if she's ever been trained by Luke or not, but I mean, I'm guessing she knows a little bit.
She has to because, think about it, Vader is her dad, and Luke, the last great Jedi Master, is her brother, and then Kylo Ren is her son, and he's a supreme leader. Like, she's got to have some kind of level up from normal people who have the Force,
Yeah.
Like, she's got to be there at least a little bit. They just never really give her that much time with the Force. That was really weird how she just kind of like zoomed in, and I'm like, what the hell is going on? Like, you're losing me, Star Wars. That was really cool. And then the Porgs or Progs, whatever they are, those were cute. They were. I will admit that they were pretty cute. Let's see, Rey wanting to train with Luke, and he doesn't want her to. And then, freaking, Finn and what was that girl's name? Rose. Rose.
Rose, yeah.
They went and they were trying to find a
Master Codebreaker.
Yeah, they were trying to find that codebreaker so that they can go onto the on Snoke's ship and disable their tracking device, because they were able to track them through light speed, which is impossible, but they did it anyway. And they go on that planet, and I liked those, which it wasn't really the point of them being on there, but I really liked those, like, hammerhead shark horse creature things that they were riding. Those were kind of cool looking.
But it kind of reminded me of, like, because they were at a casino, so it was like race horses pretty much, like their version of it.
Yeah. Kind of like their own version of Hoosier Park. Yeah, because they are comparable to Hoosier Park. No, but yeah, Hoosier Park is a racing and casino in a local town. But yeah, that was really neat. I was surprised. Now Benicio, I can never pronounce his name, Del Toro. He played the Codebreaker. He was also the Collector in Guardians of the Galaxy.
I didn't realize that.
Yeah, because I saw him, I'm like, that guy looks really familiar. I was like, oh, it's him. Which Joaquin Phoenix, he was supposed to be the Codebreaker. DJ is his name, but he turned it down.
Oh.
You think so? I'll play Johnny Cash, so I don't need to play anybody else. But it's okay. It was really good. Yeah, he was a good character. And he turns out to be kind of an asshole. Makes a deal, sets himself free, says screw you guys to the other guys. And then, so everything comes to this final climactic event. Rey leaves Luke. She doesn't want to be around him anymore because he won't train her. It turns out he was going to kill Kylo Ren because he saw danger in him. He was scared for himself. And then Kylo Ren was like, fuck you, and just destroyed this compound he was in. And that's why Kylo Ren has such of a angst problem now. And
yeah, I really like how they showed they had him Luke explaining what happened from how he started that Jedi temple and was training people.
Yes.
Yeah.
That was really great. And then so they get to this big vault in a cave or something like that, and they close these doors, but then the bad guys still show up. And oh wait, no, I'm forgetting a huge part. They all get on these escape pods because they haven't heard from Finn and Rose yet, so they get on these escape pods. But this one lady who took over for Leia when she was unconscious before Leia came back too, who was kind of a bitch at first.
Yeah,
I didn't like her.
Oh.
I didn't like her at first, and
Yeah,
I barely liked her when she did the cool thing. She's like, no, you all should go. I'll stay behind. I'll take care of it here. And so she stays, and the First Order is like shooting down all of their escape pods. So then she's like, you know what? I'm going to take matters in my own hands. I'm going to suicide kamikaze this shit. So she turns around and just flies straight into Snoke's ship using warp speed, light speed, and just splits it in half. And all of their ships, that was so cool. Like, it just blew up. But that was after. Oh my god, I keep jumping ahead of myself. I'm tired. I am really tired. But Rey is taken captive by Kylo Ren, and she's on Snoke's ship, and he's like, she's trying to resist. He makes it to where Kylo Ren has to kill her, and he'll have his training complete and all that shit. And Kylo Ren uses the Force to turn Rey's lightsaber against Snoke and cuts him in half. That was unexpected and awesome.
Yeah, I was surprised. Like, he was just, I thought because he was trying to force Rey to kill, or force Kylo to kill Rey, and then you just see Rey's lightsaber turn a little bit, and then like he never expects it. He says, "You're going to kill your greatest enemy," or something like that. Then he kills him, slices him in half. And
it was really cool because like, it's what you wanted to see in the last Harry Potter movie. Like, Snoke was this all powerful supreme leader, and he gets halved, and he just falls over dead like a normal person. Like how Voldemort should have been killed when he died in the book. He just laid there like a normal fucking person. Yeah. It showed that he was an actual man and not this overpowered. Anyway, that's a whole nother show for another. Okay.
And like, what's your opinion about this? Like, I was really hoping I'd see Luke fight Snoke. Like, what do you think?
That would have been awesome. I would have loved to see it. Would have been like in A New Hope where Obi-Wan and Darth Vader fought. That was really cool. Except I don't think Luke trained Snoke. But he might have.
Well, we don't know anything about Snoke. That's the thing. Like, they don't. Like, I feel like we should have we should have been told more.
Some kind of backstory.
It's just, but according to, like, I read something about how, like, Snoke is like irrelevant to the story for Part 9, so he doesn't even matter. Really? Yeah. I read that the other day.
Huh. I'll have to do some reading on that then.
And then we find out, remember, Kylo reveals about Rey's parents.
Yeah, I don't know if that's true or not, though, because he might have been trying to use it against her, but it could have been. He says that her parents were basically just junkies who sold her for their next fix.
Yeah, and that she was like a nobody.
Yeah.
But if you think about it, like, then that would mean, like, pretty much, like, anybody is capable of being a Jedi. Like, but, so I'm thinking he lied and that she did come from, like, a lineage, like, where she's a...
I mean, she had to have, because she is so strong with the Force with no prior teaching. And in Episode 7, The Force Awakens, Luke's lightsaber called to her.
Yeah.
Like, it called to her. And I don't know, like, that just...
And she shouldn't have lasted that long against Kylo, like, her first time with a lightsaber.
I know, like there's something there, man.
I do like that Snoke brought that up and said, like, something about not lasting long, or like her overpowering him whenever he's trained. So he brought that up.
Yeah. So they get on this resistance base after Snoke gets halved, and the ship does and everything. They get on resistance base. They get in this cavern and stuff, and they close their doors. And the First Order comes down, and they're getting ready to, like, get this giant-ass cannon. Finn goes to sacrifice himself because they're all flying toward it, and they're like, the last thing to like pull out, they're killing too many of us, and Finn's like, no, fuck it, I'm not gonna let them win. And he's flying towards them, and I'm like, no, Finn is not going to fucking die.
Oh.
I love him.
Me too. Like,
and then that Rose girl just like comes out of nowhere and just counter strikes him, and she's like, what does she say? She says something about saving those we love, and then she gives him a kiss, and then she just kind of like, in a very cheesy way, just kind of falls over. At that part, I was like, okay. So she is still alive, but I don't know. She might not be. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because like they made it seem like she was still alive.
Yeah. At the end, it just showed her like laying down, and he was next to her.
Yeah. And he was like saying like she's hurt really bad. He didn't say she's dead. You know, they didn't make it really sad. But the penultimate moment, the coolest fucking part of the entire movie. Oh my god. Fucking Luke Skywalker shows up and goes to Leia and talks to her, blah, blah, blah. And then it was cool, but at the same time, it was just something to kind of like move the story along a little bit.
They were about to give up, like right there. And
they were about to give up. And then he just walks out and like Kylo Ren's like, stop firing, and he sees Luke. And when Luke gets closer, he's like, I want you to point all your weapons at that man and fire. And he just goes crazy, just like a million shots. And you're like, no, he just got fucking just raped. And then it stops. And it was kind of funny. The guy was like, have you had enough? Do you think you got him? Like, that was really funny. And then Luke walks out. And he does that, like, dirt off his shoulder thing. That was so great. But then, like, I saw him, and I was like, why does he have lighter colored hair, like, darker colored hair, and a shorter beard? I'm like, why does he look so young? That's weird. Like, did they fuck up in post or something? And then, like, Kylo tries to, like, cut him in half or whatever. And, like, the lightsaber just goes right through him. And you're like, what the fuck? He just killed him. Like, what's going on? And then, it's pretty much revealed that he was, and then, like, it shows him at, when Kylo Ren realizes what's going on, it shows Luke in real time back on the island. And he's, like, floating over that rock, and his hair is flowing majestically, and his beard is all billowy and stuff. And when that happened, like, everyone in the theater fucking just went crazy and was, like, cheering and stuff. But was it like that for you?
Yeah, I never expected it. Everybody started clapping and going crazy. Like, everybody was going crazy when they were, like, because I was like, oh, my gosh. Like, it definitely explained it, because it showed his hair like he was old again, like normal.
Yeah. And then, like, Kylo Ren, like, looks really pissed off, and he turns and looks towards that open cavern and sees none of them are in there anymore. And then Luke's like, I'll see you around, kid. And then he just, like, disappears. And then it cuts to Luke on the island, and Luke is like, he falls over because, like, he just used, like, the ultimate form of the Force, and he just, like, falls over. And, like, he looks out at the sun, or the suns, or whatever. And at the same time, so does Kylo, and then so does Rey, and so does Leia, and it's all, like, known. And Luke dies. He disappears. Yes, Luke fucking Skywalker dies.
And I really liked how they did it.
Oh,
like,
they did it wonderfully.
Just like Ben Kenobi, like how he disappeared. Like it's just
very peacefully, just like Rey said. You know, like she wasn't sad about it. It was very peaceful. It was very honorable, and he went out a very great way.
I would have been mad, like, if Kylo, like, actually, like, killed him or something.
Yeah, if he went out the Han Solo route. Man, when I saw that, I screamed no, like, in the theater. Like, I was so pissed off when he killed Han, because Han's my fucking favorite, man. I love Han Solo. I have a Han Solo Funko Pop I just showed him. That's what that is. Oh, he's showing me his. Oh, is that the same? No, it's not the same one. You have the one where he's wearing the jacket.
Yeah.
I think I have that one too. I'm not sure. I don't. I have a Rey one though, and I have a Chewie one. Anyway, so that's pretty much it. Except that fucking kid. Did you notice that the kid like summoned that broom with the Force?
I didn't really notice that. He, like
when that kid was like sweeping and stuff, like he summoned the broom with the Force.
so like, oh yeah. I did read about that today. Apparently, like it just showed more. Either he comes from like a lineage, just like or it's just starting to show like more people are capable of being like are able to use the Force. I don't know. Just plus he had that rebellion
Yeah, that little
ring on.
ring. Yeah. Okay. Well, Colt and I are going to continue pandering, but I want to thank you guys for listening. Tune in next episode. I haven't figured out what we're going to talk about yet, but hey, we'll know by the time it airs, hopefully. So thanks so much for sticking around, and go see Star Wars, guys. Binge watch all the ones that are out there, and we'll see you next time.